Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless path of true love reading part 1. There is an extended. I am your reader. Fellow Virgo, Mark Angelo Lyons. Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998. I'm the author of Words of Grace from a professional witch, available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box. You can preview the first bunch of it for free. And I am happily found a wonderful place to do my mystical art as a Virgo over on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle. I'm feeling it's hovering right about there. Humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses are the names of my subscription levels. If you want to check it out, of course, there's a link in the description box. Chatting pretty much every morning with a cup of coffee, a YouTube live stream that only my patrons have access to, talking about the day's astrology, magical applications, spiritual implications, and a really great way for me to start my day. So if you want a deeper experience, a deeper dive into the magic, the miracles, the mysticism, the mal, come Patreon on Patreon, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Shall we? I just did some breath work and some meditation, getting ready to get on camera today and all of that. The physical as well as the spiritual, the chakras, and the eyeliner. Third eyeliner. Good name for a band. And they told me very clearly, it's like, take your time with these today. I'm starting a little bit earlier in my schedule than I'm used to, but I had errands to run this morning, so, it is what it is. So, when I'm talking about my Virgs, right, trying to keep it all organized. Plus, I'm getting ready to move my home in the next month or two. So yeah, that's an interesting thing hovering. So let's get up into this gig. A Path of True Love reading is all about you. Yes, someone will be crossing your path in the augmented Celtic Cross spread that I'm about to do for the Virgo Collective. You're going to have to suss out, feel out intuitively which one you are at the crossroads in the Celtic crossroads. But regardless of the form of the relationship, romantic, sexual, family member, friend, co-worker, boss, doesn't matter. It's about your hero's journey, your healing journey, your spiritual awakening through the relationships in your life that I call the path of true love. That we are true love at our core, but just like Michelangelo and the statue of the David, when they asked him how he created the statue of the David, he said, I didn't. God did. I'm going to put it in my language. The divine did. I just shipped away the excess marble, and nothing does that quite like relationships. Wouldn't you agree? So, that being said, it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And do check your other signs for someone else crossing your path on the path of true love, or maybe the same person, but from a different archetypal and chakric angle. Other than that, there are tons of links in the description box talking about the path of true love and soul contracts, twin flames, and soulmates. They're not all by me. If you want to do a little more deeper research, it's an overused word, but for Virgos we can do that. We can research something. So go have a look-see-duck-see. Other than that, I think I've crossed every T and dotted every I of the intro. Moon's in Libra at the time of this recording. Sun's in Leo. So let's just do this. Ready? Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will, and I will do the best that I can to serve my fellow Virgos with my own inherent Virgo power, to help them be the best that they can be. And on a more global note, the more you become true love, the more you anchor that frequency, essentially truth and love, the divine masculine and the divine feminine within yourself. And boy, don't the planet need that. Remember, true love conquers all, breaks all curses, all of that. So let's do it. Ready? Please take a nice deep breath. Let's see if we can have some fun. From divination, from explanation to divination. Still point. And here we go. Using the Caroline Mace archetype cards, I call to the collective pantheons of the divine, the angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, the totems, the pantheons of pantheons, the ascended masters of true love, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. I need 2 Caroline Mace archetype decks to see party number 1 and party number 2 of this particular soul contract, twin flame soulmate, family, friend, lover, who cares? But I want the accurate one, the right one, for the Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love. Here is contestant number 1, and who is crossing the path as contestant number 2. These are in the title. Let's see how brave you are. Oddly enough, you know what it is before I do. The Eternal Child and the Scribe. Now, I will tell you, the Scribe is a very strong Virgo vibe to it. Keep the receipts, right? But we'll get there. The Child, particularly the Eternal Child, everybody has the Child archetype. There are 4 archetypes everybody has. The Survival family. There are 9 different families. The Scribe is in the creativity family of archetypes, but the child at its core, regardless of its sub-pattern, in this case the Eternal Child, even without that, the child is about innocence and safety, right? That innocence of our heart, it's inner child stuff, it's childhood wounds, but it's also the ability to see things through fresh eyes, right? Like a child will. Lead to gold, that's the archetype, shadow to light, brat child, wonderful, demon child, angel child, you get what I'm saying, but this is a little bit more specific. The shadow attribute of the Eternal Child, I want you to think Peter Pan at his worst. Inability to grow up and be responsible. Responsibility is a big part of the child archetype in all of its forms, all of its archetypal forms, I can at least say. Extreme dependency on others for physical security. Now, we all go through phases like that. I mean, you can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But if we're looking at safety and security with what's been going on planet Earth now with new variants and, all of that, it's very, very easy for any single one of us to feel that way. And of course, there's codependency, but then there's healthy independence. And catch the light attribute, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. Now, I have a nice touch of the Eternal Child archetype. I do not look my age. Sorry, because if you have the prop, you might as well use it. I will be 54 years old September 6th, 2022. Yeah, I know. I don't look it. Thanks, right? That's the Eternal Child. But when it comes to extreme dependency on others for physical security, sure, but that with me starts with the divine, right? It's like, you show me what you want me to do instead of more. That's how you gently alchemize something from lead to gold. So that's very, very powerful. Now, again, everybody has the child archetype, so you figuring out who you are in this one, really take it down into your gut, not just in the mind. You're a Virgo. You're a Virgo Sun, or you're a cross watcher. The Scribe archetype, as I said, is a creative family archetype. I am, to an extent, a scribe. I mean, you should see my room of requirement upstairs with the amount of books of shadows and, all sorts of stuff like tax records back from 1998 when I started drawing the circle production. It's not a hoarder, because people say, no, you should never really let go of those, right? Shred it. I want to, but whatever. The shadow attribute of the Scribe. Altering facts or plagiarizing others' work, which is no bueno, right? Falsifying information or plagiarizing, no thanks. But the light attribute, preserving knowledge and information. We're good at that because we're ruled by Mercury, right? Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, right? So, okay. An Eternal Child and a Scribe, right? Scribe could be librarian, right? All sorts of ways. But don't take it always so literally, because then sometimes you miss the little clue, tip, or hint that the divine's trying to get out. Okay, this is our archetypal skeleton. Let's put some meat on those bones. We are going to take 10 of the Mythic Tarot. Juliet Sharman Burke, one of my favorite decks. I used to read it back in the 80s in the clubs. Club, Venus de Milo, Atlas. It was a good time. We're going to get 10 of these to kind of scope out the path. GPS, kind of hover above it. Google Map it. And then we'll add 3 more cards to that, and then we'll jump over to the extended. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Okay. I call upon my gods of earth, the sign of Virgo, powers of the north. Please, beloved ones, lower 3 chakra dynamic, physical world, inside looking out. The Virgo or cross watcher from the inside looking out, the outside looking in, lower 3 chakra dynamics, relationships in the world, root chakra groups, tribes, 3 or more of anything is a tribe, energetically in the root chakra, 2nd chakra, one-on-one, umbilical, sacral, that's what this is, but also relationship to the self and the solar plexus, all relationships in the world, boundaries, all sort of going on there. So let's do these one at a time, 10 cards face up, starting with the eternal child in this Virgo read. We've got the sun. That's helpful. Major arcana card. So this is a real bright, shining being, maybe going through a time of great healing and clarity and happiness. I'm going to say that kind of goes more towards the light, for sure there, if that's looking at this person from the outside looking in. How about crossing the path here? The Scribe. Well, the Page Pentacles. Excellent. All right. A message of a potentiality. It is the Ace of Pentacles in the hand of the Page of Pentacles. So we've got here a scribe. If this is looking at the scribe from the outside in, then we're looking at somebody who has a potential here and a message of potential. And with the scribe, it might actually be written. Could be a new creative project too. Kind of feeling that too, because it is creative family archetype. And this eternal child might be very inspiring to the scribe. What's at the core of this, please, my gods? Perhaps the unconscious, subconscious influences, unless they're really tuned in intuitively. Okay, the Queen of Swords. There might be another person involved here. When it's a zodiac card, Queen of Swords is Aquarius here. We've got a fixed air vibe. Yeah, I'm not feeling that symbolic of the relationship. Unless that's really talking about there as a friendship here. I mean, certainly could be that. The thing about Aquarius, 11th house, it's how you interact in the world, right? Particularly through communication, fixed air, focused air. Now, in the extended, we're going to take the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the round cards, and get the heart, throat, third eye, crown. What's going on behind this? So I'm going to leave that for right now and see what's going on there, whether that's one of these 2 people, somebody else, or indicative of what's going on from the outside looking in this relationship. In other words, this could be a somewhat fair and balanced friendship. Let's see. What's going on behind them? What's in there behind the recent past that got them to this crossroads? Oh, we've got the Hanged Man. So to go from the Hanged Man to the Sun is pretty cool. It certainly is in the usual direction of the major arcana, the full circle, right? You got to go through the Hanged Man, and this is a sacrifice, a letting go, usually of a point of view, but certainly a surrender to the divine, at least, well, at most. I mean, it really is. Prometheus bound, right? Stole fire from the gods. He was a titan, by the way. He was an elder. He stole fire so that the man would no longer, gave it to man, so man would no longer be dependent on the gods so much they could, not have to pray for like lightning to strike so they could stay warm. Thank you, Zeus. And as a result, they punished him by hanging him upside down in Tartarus, which is the sub-basement of the underworld. The underworld is actually rather nice. Isle of the Blessed is lovely this time of year, always. But no, Tartarus hung him upside down from a mountain. Fucking Tartarus is huge. And a vulture ate out his liver every day, and it grew back. Talk about employment. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. He was eventually released, by the way. He was eventually set free. Isn't that nice? So yeah, that thing perhaps of voluntarily hanging yourself upside down and saying, all right, I surrender, I let go, help me see this differently, which is really good for Virgo. But to the divine, major arcana. When it is a major arcana card, forgot to say this with the Sun card as well, in the lower 3 chakras, it's all 3 at once. It's hitting the tribal, the one-on-one, as well as the relationship to the self. Oh, that's interesting. What crowns this, please, my gods? Kind of hovering above all of this. All right, two of wands, a choice, not necessarily a decision, but a crossroads. It is a crossroads card. Now, there's a difference between choice and decision. A choice has a consequence, but the consequence of a decision is usually life-changing, right? I'm going to change my hair color. That's a choice, but you never know. That could be life-changing, because for some people it has been. But like coffee, tea, or milk, usually that doesn't have such a gigantic consequence. But I'm gonna shave off my hair and move to Guam. That's life changing. I think you're gonna mean no, I'm not shaving off my hair. I'm Leo rising, Mars conjunct. So that choice, right? So that's hovering over this, whether these two are aware of it. And it might not be a choice as to whether or not to be in this relationship, but a choice that the two of them might very well both be involved in and maybe have to make together. And honestly, with this at the core, the core underneath it, it's fine. It feels like it's going to be fair. It's not the Libra card, but it is that Aquarian, that it can be done from perhaps a higher perspective and therefore in a friendly, egalitarian way. What's before them on the path end? 3 of Cups. It's a good time. May not be a long time, but it's a good time. And yes, this is certainly a friendship card. Now in this deck, it's the wedding of Eros and Psyche. But if you notice, I don't know if you can see, she's not looking at him because she has not seen his face yet, because he did not want her to, because everybody who sees the face of Eros, Greek god of romantic love, falls instantly in love with him. He's like, I want you to love me for me, not just how I look. I can relate. Sorry. Let's keep it light. I can have fun and do this at the same time. In fact, the more fun I have, usually the more accurate the readings are, particularly in generals. So I like that. There's an emotional bond here. It feels like if this choice is made, there's emotional bonding. But, Virgos, we like to review the paperwork first. Right? Do a been verified search or something. Spokio. Right? Where you been? Right? The Scribe. There we go. That's totally the Scribe. That's totally the Scribe. It's like we preserve this information. Okay, interesting cross. Let's look at the staff. Wait, let me just check real quick. I got 2 major arcana, no air, 1 air, 1 fire, 1 earth, and 1 water. So you got fire, earth, air, water, and spirit, right? Fire, let me just check, earth, air, water, and spirit. You got all 5 elements. Excellent. Now, the staff, running up the side, the universal stuff, the more mystical, divine stuff. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. All right, my gods, the earth sign of Virgo, powers of the north. What is the lesson? 7th position, lower 3 chakra, outside looking in, inside looking out. The purpose behind all of this is for them to learn and deal with the 4 of Cups. On the outer, there might be some discontent. Oh, hopefully it's not the winter of our discontent. We go from the 3 to the 4, right? Actually, in the progression of the read, you did see me shuffle, right? So from this 3 of Cups comes some dissatisfaction. It's not cups spilled like in the 5, but because, I'm so glad I told you about the 3 of Cups, because these are Psyche's sisters coming to visit her palace in the sky, saying, well, how do you know? How do you know he's Eros? He could be a demon. What do you mean you've never seen his face? Sight unseen, you married him? Well, I heard. So there might be some emotional stuff there, kind of making you feel a little meh. To me, 4 of Cups at its best is meh. Meh. Where, at its worst, it can be that real I wouldn't say heartbreak, that's more 5 of Cups, but that real thing of just like, oh man, just like real disappointment. loss or otherwise. So let's see, it could be loss of faith, loss of trust. But if these are people who already know each other, like if this is already an established relationship, that's part of the path of true love, even if it's a family member or a lover. All right, from the outside looking in horizontally, third dimension, right? What's going on? Lower 3 chakras. All right, I like it. We've got the 2 of Wands here in this choice, and we've got the 6 of Wands. And this is just the perception of how it looks, how the world sees it from the outside looking in, right? If we were to cross these two on the crossroads, we'd say, oh, well, 6 of Wands, very visible, right? That eternal child might be a little hard to miss with that Sun card right in there. And with the Scribe, perhaps offering that Ace of Pentacles, a new seed, a new potential. I do like that for you, for us, if I'm in this reading, because it does say that this has momentum. It's a balance of desire on both sides, maybe both wanting the same thing. The nature of that thing we don't know yet, but let's see. My gods, what is the destiny that they can achieve from the hero's journey in terms of fate, right? Suffer your fate or manifest your destiny. Every choice, every decision, every breath that we make. Lead to gold, shadow to light, pain to peace. Lower 3 chakras, please. Where are they on the hero's journey of all this? Well, we got another court card. And we've got the Knight of Wands, the Sagittarius card, Bellerophon, rider of Pegasus. Now, I know there's that thing about them being players, but they're Sagittarius energy, right? 9th house, expansion. So again, if this is one of these two people, then it might kind of indicate that the destiny for them is best achieved right now by keeping their desires mutable, like not necessarily not making choices and decisions in healthy ways, but allowing all of the desires to have a voice, but maybe not all chosen and acted upon, right? It's like the archer, right, with the quiver of arrows. You don't shoot them all at once, usually, right? It's usually a progression of them, this element of fire that you send out there. It's also a good sense of expansiveness. Like, I don't get a womp-womp feel. Like, not every Path of True Love read is a hero versus a villain. Sometimes it is. Again, it depends on the shadow to light balance in a general read like this. But I can feel that. It's like there is the 4 knights are the 4 speeds of a horse. Walk, trot, canter, and gallop. Well, Sagittarius mutable fire is canter, Gemini is gallop, Virgo is walk, Pisces is trot. So this is like, yeah, like canter's not full speed ahead, but it's not a slow pace. It's actually rather playful. All right, so my gods of earth, sign of Virgo, powers of the south, what is the most probable outcome for the timeline of this lifetime, this contract, for the Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading? An eternal child with the Sun, the Scribe with the Page of Pentacles. Most probable outcome, please. The path of true love for this chapter, this scene, this cut on the album, and then we've got the Chariot. Yeah, this is gonna move fast once it gets there. We go from a canter to essentially a straight-on gallop. This is the god Aries, and you know, Aries is known as a god of war. Everybody sees him through his shadow, but did you know he was a dancer? Did you know he was an artist? Did you know he was trained by Priapus? I'm not kidding. Look it up. You don't know what I'm talking about. He's a hard teacher. I'll just leave that. I know somebody out there got that joke. Oh, jokes from ancient Greece. Rama-lama-lama, diggity-ding-a-dong. Aries is also, of course, the chariot driver. Very driven, taking the dark horse of motivation and the light horse of inspiration and channeling them together. Every morning we got to do that to an extent. I don't wanna, or oh, I gotta get up and go to work, and then the inspiration of let's do it, let's get out there. So it does feel like balance. Opposites are going to be balanced here, and definitely some forward motion. Yeah, no, this feels great. Yay, yay! Maybe Some kind of Virgo tide has turned. All right, 3 cards left. 2 of them are going to be Whispers of Love Oracle, the voices of the higher selves, 1 for the eternal child and 1 for the scribe, not everybody else involved in this situation. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, but in particular 1 for the eternal child and 1 for the scribe, the higher selves, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above only, please. What is the whisper of love for this eternal child and for this scribe archetype? Oh. If you hit the floor, you hit the floor and you're not it. Sorry. Let's just do that again. Still point. Yeah, because it's the scribe. We want accurate information. We won't falsify or plagiarize, please. The higher self of the scribe collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Their whisper of love on the path of true love. Oh, well, there it is. The eternal child with the sun has the true love card. This is a once-in-a-lifetime love. Now, I have issues with that. Once-in-a-lifetime love, but that's square. I mean, look, it's about the true love. Read. I have a true love relationship with my mom. She my mom, right? Unconditional love, always growing, always evolving. A true soulmate in that sense that we help each other heal, even when we're miles away from each other. At this point, I pick up the phone as she's texting, right? And it's just, that's the vibe. But certainly that's very, very empowering for an eternal child to know that, but you have to become that true love. Alchemize the lead to gold, the shadow to light is indicated in the Carolyn Mace card, but do know it does conquer all. It's the universal solvent in alchemy, if you want to go there, although forgiveness can be said to be that too. For the scribe, kind of loving this. Appreciate this moment. Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love. Which, what better for a scribe to do, particularly if this is the Virgo, to write it down, to journal it, like to keep track of this, to preserve not just the knowledge and the information, but, perhaps even the wisdom that's been gained as a result of this. I mean, it does feel like the scribe might be in the eternal child's orbit. Meaning that you've got the sun card there. The sun doesn't run around. The sun is stationary, fixed fire. Leo, right? The Leo card. But maybe the scribe is sort of like orbiting around them, but for creative purposes and perhaps with a potential seed of some way, shape, or form. A new venture to bring into physical form. A seed, you can crack it under your heel, or you can plant it and grow it into something where it perhaps yields other seeds. I like this. So true love, and appreciate this moment. They're all true love reads. That's why I call them timeless true love reads. Last card down, a healing mantra from the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck, the Ascended Masters of True Love. Here's the T. Doesn't matter which one you are in this. Work the mantra. As you heal you chip away another piece of marble. Even if it's just like a little micro fleck off, it helps heal everyone that little bit of microfleck. That's why the more people who are aware that every relationship in our life is not an end but a means, right? Oh, happily ever after is an end. That doesn't exist. Past lives and all that, right? It's a means. It's a means to your healing, your growth, your spiritual awakening, and what you were sent in to do in this life as an immortal soul on a hero's journey in a human body. That's enough. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Last card down, please. My beloved Ascended Masters of the Path of True Love. I love you all so much. You've been so invaluable on my own personal journey, which is affecting the healing of the world like everybody else. So please, what is the perfect, accurate, specific healing mantra for the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading? An eternal child and a scribe, the eternal child with true love, the Scribe appreciating this moment. Sun on the outer for the child. Page of Pentacles on the outer for the Scribe, ending in the Chariot. Please, the perfect healing mantra to help them heal and anchor true love in this timeless path of true love read. This card seems to be very connected to true love work, and it is called sharing shame. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. Now, it sounds like a womp womp, but it's really not. Yeah, it's not necessarily first date material. Yeah, it's like, well, I was born on a cold and windy night. No, I mean, you don't have to do that. Not, certainly not first date. That's a bit much. Yeah, let's compare wounds. Well, that could be a Virgo gig. What have you been through? Right? Because honestly, anybody I'm going to get romantically involved with, considering I'm moving my home, had better have been in the underworld a bunch of times doing the shadow work at least, right? Doesn't have to be a witch necessarily, but you know what I'm saying. So what I love about this is it's really not about the other person. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. And let's be clear, you can do that in a rite of confession to the divine, whatever you call it, right? The X variable of the divine. God, Goddess, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus, Zan, Jaina, do it. Ask them all. You gotta catch them all. Oh, dear God, I just made a Pokemon reference. I wasn't even that into it. So this is about communication, but maybe this is in a process of counseling. Well, and there is the Queen of Swords at the core of all of this. That to, you know, and I've been in relationships like that, particularly romantic ones, which after the first couple of dates and, you know, they start staying over and stuff, you get to know each other. And to share your pain in a way of being open and vulnerable and honest is not exactly the Virgo's gig, right? We're the only sign that crosses its legs if you look at the symbol. We're not Geminis in that sense. Oh, sure, let's talk about it, or not. So let me read you what's in the book. The lovely bookiness of the bookie book. And I think you'll find this very, very powerful, giving yourself permission to be as you are. Really good for appreciating this moment and allowing true love to do its thing. Sharing shame. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. And remember, that could be to the divine, to a counselor, to a healer, to whatever. When shame is shared, cycles of victimhood are permitted to heal as you find the courage to speak your truth. And the whole world's going through that right now. I mean, on so many different levels, that is going on. Since abuse and neglect can only be perpetuated in silence, it is your willingness to step forward and share your life story that helps transform each wound and inspires others to be set free. And that's why it's not just about you. Yes, it's your pain, it's your personal experience in this life, past life, who knows? But there's something about speaking up, and even if it's in confidentiality, in other words, it doesn't need to be on CNN. It doesn't need to be on social media. We're Virgos, cross your legs, right? But as a scribe, that does make sense. We're an eternal child. I mean, I'll also say the sun, that card of the sun on the eternal child might just shine that light. And if they're the one doing the sharing, feels like it could be mutual here, then there's something really lovely with that Queen of Swords. It probably does represent the relationship itself where it is. Once shame is shared, you are able to honor yourself with the heightened encouragement, worthiness, and validation that you deserve to receive. It's giving it to yourself, even though you're sharing it with X variable, fill in the blank, right? Mad Libs. This mantra is ideal for revisiting past traumas, which can happen. This feels romantic-ish. It's in the neighborhood, but friendly. I kind of like it. Could be friends with benefits kind of thing, too. Revisiting past traumas. Expressing your inner child. Just saying. And finding self-acceptance because you're giving yourself permission to be. I love it. So here's what's going to happen. If you're new to the channel, I do this with all of my readings. We're going to do what's called a blessumation, a BLESSUMATION, where I summarize all of this stuff and give a blessing. And then we'll chat a little bit at the end if you want to hang around in like the last minute or so. I like to just let it all loose, see what comes out of my mouth so I can get ready, upload it, download it, edit it, you know, all of that. And while that's all cooking, I'll do the extended. Oh, on Vimeo.com. We'll talk about it at the end. Vimeo.com, pay-per-view, or on Patreon. All my people on Patreon, all levels, get the extended reads, past, present, and future. I'll probably say that at the end too. Let's see. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Virgo collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving what could be a very exciting reading here, but there is a price to pay with that sharing shame. May they be blessed with all that they need, so that the one with the eternal child archetype can embrace their determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, and retain and reveal their ability to see things with fresh eyes, which makes sense with the Sun card. That clarity, that healing, that happiness as a happy eternal child. And that this scribe may preserve their knowledge and information that they've come across along the way, or maybe that's just something that they do anyway with this Page of Pentacles. Maybe an opportunity to create with this child in all sorts of different ways, because at the core of this there is this Aquarian vibe. The Queen of Swords, Aquarius, literally pouring a pitcher of water as the water bearer here, that there is something friendly and egalitarian and humanitarian here that might be a core thing that they have within themselves, and this relationship might be based on that right now, which is lovely. Fair, honest communication, not Libra, Aquarius, but perhaps seeing things from that fixed air stratospheric point of view, larger picture. Because there has been a sacrifice here, and maybe they both sacrificed to get here. Maybe they had to just see things so radically different, or let go and let God, let go and let Goddess, right? I surrender, surrender, Dorothy, that got them to this crossroads. And you know what? If they're at this crossroads, what's hovering is the choice. So this might be a little bit at a standstill. I mean, even Queen of Wands, Aquarius is fixed air. Doesn't feel like it's going to stay like that for much longer, though, because we do have the Three of Cups. This could even be an empathic bond where they're feeling each other, lower three chakras, so to speak, but definitely an emotional thing there. This is a celebration. It could be a really good date. It could be a series of really good dates while they emotionally bond. And of course the lesson is that Four of Cups. Like, are there other people saying shit, right, that the scribe might be hearing about and taking notes? Is there a sense of emotional stagnation or boredom, that stabilizes this, though? The fours are about a certain type of rest and stability. But are there people whispering rumors? Is there gossip that has an emotional impact here? Lower three chakras, or perhaps even a past about things they need to talk about. Oh, that could also be part of the sharing of shame there. But you know how the world sees this is victorious. This is very visible as well. This is Jason and the Argonauts having, well, Jason in particular, holding the golden fleece. Dealt with it in the Five of Wands. Here they are in the Six of Wands, right? Holding this up. We did it. We're here. At least the potential is there for that. And the destiny is achieved by cantering in. Mutable fire. Sagittarius. This could be very, very fun and very, very passionate. And certainly with the outcome of the Chariot, harnessing the light and the dark horses, the inspiration and the motivation to move this forward rapidly is the result of that choice. Then certainly for the eternal child to really know that this is a true love situation. That doesn't mean we're going to get everything we want, but it does mean we're going to get everything that we need, and it will conquer all within us And then we see what happens outside of us, and as the scribe just appreciates the moment, just keep watching, keep moving forward. It's the Page of Pentacles, right? Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love, even if it's love within your own self, giving yourself the love of being able to share shame. That when they share their deepest pain, they give themselves permission to be. And that can also be a wonderful way to set boundaries in a romantic situation, whether it's brand new, I mean, even a family. I mean, this could certainly be a family member too. But with that true love card, that tends to trend a little bit more on the romantic sexual side, but we will see in the extended reads. So may the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, that they may refine and refresh themselves, that they may chip away that excess marble little by little by little, allowing the divinity, the true love that they are at their core, to shine through and anchor that into planet Earth by doing what needs to be done in this actually rather lovely, fun feeling path of true love reading, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So would it be, and so it is. That was a good one. That boogie down a little bit, right? I feel that. It feels good. I like it. Did you like it? Then hit the thumbs up. Help the other Virgos find it. I mean, after all, Virgo power. If you don't do it, who's gonna? Whatever. And if you want more of me here on the tube of you, feel free to subscribe and do hit that notification bell. Like I said, I'm going to be packing up my home and moving in the next couple of months. We're looking for a place upstate New York, move from Long Island to upstate, be closer to my mom. I'm psyched for it, looking for a nice chunk of land to do something on. And certainly if you want to come along for that journey, you want more of the magic, miracles, mysticism, and moving of Mal, come play your head on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle. Humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses, loving the work that I'm doing there, and I have a feeling even if you came in as a human $5 USD, you would have a field day, because all of my subscribers, they get different benefits, but I'm serving. And thank you so much for allowing me to serve my beloved Virgos. Seriously, I'm looking forward to seeing what's in this one, and maybe I am in this one. We'll see in the extended Vimeo on demand, link in the description box, or certainly all of my patrons get it on Patreon, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you can call me now. I love you. Thank you. I don't know if I made it disappear twice. I will check it in edits. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed of the path of true love, my beloved Virgos, Virgo power. Now, farewell, and blessed be.